Hello students, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jagdeep. In this video series we are talking about the demand analysis. In our previous video we talked about the factors affecting individual demand. This video shall focus upon factors affecting market demand. For all the students who are in need of revision for demand and supply, there is a video available on my channel where you could revise the demand analysis, the supply and the elasticities. You could find the link in the description box. Alright students, so without wasting any time further, let's get started. So what is market demand? Market demand is basically the demand for a given commodity by all the sellers in a given market at a given price during a period of time. The first factor over here is the size and composition of population. So the term size means basically how many people are there in a given market. On a general notion, if there are more number of people, obviously by default there will be more demand for goods and services. So as the number of people goes up, the demand for goods and services also goes up. Now a lot of questions might come across your mind as to how the number of people would go up. So here are some of the reasons why you may see the number of people rising in a given market. So the first reason could be migration. People could migrate into a new region, into a new city, looking out for better job opportunities. So the moment they enter the city, they would be demanding a lot of goods and services, raising the demand in that market. Tourism is another factor which could raise the number of people during peak seasons. Now peak seasons are the time periods when people would want to take up a tourist activity. They would want to go out for visiting or sightseeing or looking or enjoying the nature in a given region. So when people flock to that region during the specific time periods of the year, a lot of people would enter the market and thereby raising the demand for goods and services. And the number of people could also go up if there is a high birth rate and a low death rate in a given market. Alright. Now apart from the size, how the population is divided or segmented would also impact the demand for goods and services in a given market. Now some examples for population segmentations are on the basis of their age. So you could have more number of children in a given population, adults in a given population, the aging population, or probably you could also segment them on the basis of the gender. So male is to female, so how many males and how many females in a given region. For example, if there are a lot of children in a given population, so there will be high demand for children related goods and services. There will be high demand for toys, there will be high demand for those tricycles that children drive, small toy cars. There will be high demand for these kind of goods. Likewise, if there is a high proportion of aging population in a given market, there will be high demand for medical facilities, ambulance services, healthcare facilities in a given market. Alright. So this is how size and composition of population would impact the market demand. The next factor is seasons. Now a lot of boards might want to include it as a specific factor exclusively. Many a times children may write it on their own accord. Now seasons is something that would again impact the demand for goods and services to a great extent. For example, if a region has hot climate or there is summer, so there will be high demand for cotton clothing, right? People will be demanding a lot of light clothing to keep themselves cool and calm during the hot climate. During monsoons, you may have a high demand for raincoats or rain-oriented utilities like umbrellas, shoes, so on and so forth, right? And during winters, you may have high demand for sweaters or woolen clothes, right, to keep yourself warm. So depending upon what kind of season prevails in a given market, demand for season specific goods and services would go up. The next factor is distribution of income, how the income is distributed in a given market. The income could be either distributed equally, which is a very rare possibility, or there could be unequal distribution of income. Now what do we mean by unequal distribution of income? So when we talk about unequal distribution, we may see that there is a discrepancy between the number of rich and poor in a given market. If there are more number of rich in the market, you will have high demand for luxuries. And if there are high number of poor people in a given market, in that case, there will be high demand for necessities. But if there is an equal distribution, there will be almost the same proportion of demand for both luxuries and necessities. Alright, this is how distribution of income would impact market demand. The next segment is government policies. Now, what do we mean by government policies? We have policies with regards to taxes and subsidies. Now, the tax that we are talking about here is the direct tax, the tax that goes on your income. So, the moment these taxes are raised, so direct taxes are raised, it would bring down the income of people. And when income goes down, the demand of people, the demand for goods and services would also go down, right? It's a very rare occurrence that a government may bring down the direct tax slabs, and in that case, people may have high disposable income, they may have a high purchasing power and ability to spend, and hence the market demand for goods and services might just go up. Subsidies is something that a government provides as a financial help or grant to households and businesses. Alright. So now when a subsidy is provided by the government, it would reduce the expenses. That means people will have more purchasing power and hence a high ability to spend. So the demand for goods and services would go up. Alright. And finally, we have business cycles. A lot of books may mention business cycles, a lot of books may not. The CBSE students generally do not study business cycles as a factor impacting market demand. ICSE, ISC and all the international boards do consider business cycles as an important factor that impacts the market demand. Now there are 4 business cycles. We have growth, peak, contraction and trough. So growth is a time period where consumers are able to buy more goods and services because they are experiencing an increment in their income. So you may see a slow increment in the demand for goods and services. Peak is a time period where people have the maximum incomes that they can afford. So demand is very high in these time frames. Very high demand. Alright. A lot of people might also call it as boom, and it may also lead to a situation called inflation. Now contraction is a time frame when the economy is slowing down and you may see a fall in the demand for goods and services. A lot of boards might recognize contraction as recessionary time frame. Trough is a time period that is also referred to as slump or depression, and this is a time period where there is complete absence of demand. There is no demand for goods and services during this time frame because people do not have the purchasing power to spend. Alright, so these are the factors that would impact market demand. Students, if you find my videos useful, please do like, subscribe and share my videos with your friends. There are a lot of reels available regarding the factors impacting demand on my Instagram channel. You could follow me there as well. I shall see you in another video with another topic from the same series. Until then, bye now. Take care.